We continue our foray this morning into Psalm 145. I've decided that this is my next memorization project. It is so rich. And even as you let your mind think about these concepts, what happens is the peace of God really does settle deeply because you are acknowledging who God really is and you're remembering how He's been this to you. So in this acrostic, remember, David is remembering the greatness of God, and then he's thinking about commending what he knows about God to the next generation. We've already talked about him talking about God's graciousness and compassion, his goodness as the ruling king. But now listen to this, verse 13b. The Lord is trustworthy in all He promises and faithful in all He does. The Lord upholds all who fall down and lifts up all who are bowed down. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food at the proper time. You open up your hand and satisfy the desires of every living thing. I think the language is so beautiful, but what I love here is it's not exclusive. God's not just trustworthy in His promises and faithful just to those who serve and love Him. It says the Lord upholds all who fall and lifts up all who are bowed down. I just think about the heart of the Lord for the broken. Now we tend to think the broken. All right, now we have the homeless person, the addicted. Isn't it true that all of us carry a deep sense of our own brokenness, and when we're honest, we're haunted by our brokenness? Some people call it the shadow side. We really recognize our wounds, our fears, our incompleteness, our insecurities. What I want you to see today is that you, just where you're at, in your brokenness, even as you're aware, you're insecure, you're afraid, you're angry, proud, the parts of sin that are in your life, just notice the posture of God, as David has himself experienced, is one of God leaning over the broken. I wonder if David has in mind his greatest failures here, and then feeling the tender care of God, leaning over, lifting up the bowed down. I love this idea of God leaning over me and lifting me up. It's the picture of a broken, like a child who falls and skins his knee or is crying or is upset or lonely, and God picking them up and drawing them into Himself. I hope that picture just ministers to you today, that God, His heart is for you and with you in your exact life, not the life you should be leading, but in your exact life, the exact person you are. God is leaning over you and loving you as you are, and He's trustworthy, and He fulfills His promises towards you. Grace and peace. Enjoy this image today.